Hey guys, I'm getting ready for dinner. I just have to straighten my hair, so I figured let's straighten my hair and talk about how I sleep train my daughter at 5.5 months. So I'm gonna go through this pretty quick for you guys because I think it's fairly simple. We did a gentle Ferber method, so basically you go in, you check in, and you leave at intervals. And what was different from what I did versus a regular Ferber method is that I chose my intervals, and I highly encourage you to do the same. So I chose to do 2 minutes, 3 minutes, like a couple of times, and then move on to 5 minutes. And that's why it's gentle. It takes a little longer. Like instead of taking maybe 5 nights, it'll take like 7 to 10 nights. For us, we got it in like 6 nights. And it's been amazing since. She falls asleep on her own. So what I would say is master the nighttime routine, pick one that works for you and your family, and do it every night to the point where during this time, I was reading the same book every night because I wanted her to hear the same tone, hear the same words, and her to understand. We would do bath at the same time. If it was with my husband, we committed and did it together that whole week. Like, I just wanted her to understand major consistency. Even though we had a nighttime routine literally since she was born, I wanted to make sure that it was like really instilled for this whole week. I think that helped a lot. Make sure obviously they're fed. Okay, my daughter was already out of feeding. She stopped feeding overnight at 3 months. So I made sure she was getting all her food in the day. And then you should be pretty much set up for success. And then the one thing you have to do is just be ready. You have to be ready as a family. Their baby has to be ready. You know if your baby is crying to a point because they're not ready. I can't explain it. Like at one point I tried this at like 4.5 months and I knew she just wasn't ready. So I was like, you know what, let me wait. And now she was definitely ready. She did cry. There were some nights that were a little harder, but whenever I was uncomfortable, I just went in the room. My only rule was not to pick her up, just because I know how much she clings onto that, and she knows that she's like winning if I pick her up. So that was my only rule, but definitely patted her butt, shushed her, touched her back, her face. Like I did everything I knew to do. And another rule I had is that I don't leave the room unless she's consoled, because I feel like there's no purpose in just going to show your presence if you're not consoling them. So I made sure her cry or her whine would like diminish and then leave the room. So on night 1, I did intervals of like 2 minutes, then 3 intervals of 3 minutes, and then an interval of 5 minutes. Before the 5 minutes was up, she was asleep. I did the same on night 2. Night 3 to 5 were tough. Like I had to go in a little more. Like my intervals didn't always make it to 3 minutes because I wasn't comfortable with her crying, but I tried to push because it's so important for them to understand and like self-soothe. And then by night 6, she was sleep trained. So it's been amazing. Now she has a cold, so I have to say we've regressed a little bit just because it's hard for her to stay asleep with her nose being so stuffed. It's hard for her to get to that deep sleep. Once she does though, she sleeps through the night, so that's amazing. And if naps are your problem, they are harder for them to like put themselves to sleep, but once I did this during the night, her naps just kept getting better day by day, and they went from 24 minutes to 1 hour and 20 minutes, and that's because when they put themselves to sleep, they can sleep longer. It's crazy. I didn't believe it until I saw it. It was insane. So that's about it. And I hope this was helpful. I just want to say, if you want to use a sleep consultant, you absolutely can. It's so important to have support throughout this time. I didn't because I wanted to do it myself, but also don't forget that sleep consultants and all that, it's an industry, it's a business, and you can do your research and do it on your own, especially if you do have support with your partner, your family, as long as you have someone you're texting, maybe while you're going through those intervals. I think you should be okay. And if you have any questions, please drop them and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. I hope everyone has a great night.